we have some breaking news on the channel today. Now, I do not have a voice. I will just say that. So I'm going to try to break this in the next 10 minutes without just dying right here on camera. But Will Levis, he will undergo surgery and miss the entire 2025 NFL season. Welcome into Titans Today by Chat Sports. I am your host, Brett Alper. Going to try to push through this, but yeah, Will Levis. I was not expecting to get this news on a Monday morning, but it happened, and we now officially know that Cam Ward is going to be the starting quarterback of the Titans going into this year. Now, I will say, it doesn't matter if I don't have a voice. It doesn't matter if it's early in the morning. When the Titans make a move, when breaking news happens, we make a video. And that's why you subscribe to the channel. We're also just about less than 100 subs away from 11,000 people. So if you love the Titans, if you want all breaking news and get up-to-date action, training camp starts tomorrow. So make sure you subscribe today. So this is what happened at about 8:55 a.m. in the morning. Mr. Adam Schefter tweeting it out that, Will Levis will be undergoing season-ending surgery on his right shoulder he sustained last year before further aggravating it later in the season. Levis has been unable to shake the discomfort, and his shoulder is still bothering him. I will say this, I'm kind of shocked at this whole entire news. We didn't really go into OTAs. We didn't go into minicamp as thinking, oh, Will Levis has a bad shoulder. Is this going to linger throughout the entire 25 season? Now, last year kind of knew that he had a shoulder injury, but it wasn't to this extent. And I know he didn't play in some of those games, but you have to think now, maybe he didn't get benched for Mason Rudolph. Maybe it was, all right, he has a bad shoulder, kind of thinking, we'll let him rest a little bit because that pain is obviously bothering him. This is what the Titans have to say going into this morning as Will Levis had surgery. After consulting with doctors and his representatives, Will Levis has decided to undergo shoulder surgery that will sideline him for the entire 2025 season. The team said in a statement, we support his decision to focus on his long-term health. He approached the offseason with professionalism and showed clear growth as a leader. We remain confident in his full recovery. And I'll say this. Now that we knew that this was a lingering injury, this was dating back to last season, I wonder if, his shoulder was bothering him that much that it had an impact on the way he played. Because when we go back to 2023, he looked like a competent quarterback. He looked like he was going to be the starter for a long time. And then coming into 24, he kind of just lost his mojo, we had no idea what was going on with him. We have the memes of him like this. It really doesn't make much sense why he was playing so bad and making such bad decisions. And, I know injuries are a part of the game, but you have to think that had some type of impact on his play. And with the reason why he wasn't that great. And I will say, going into this season, he knew that he was not going to probably be the starting quarterback in this league. He knew that it was going to be Cam Ward. So he knew that he was probably going to be a backup. And he said, all right, well, this is bothering me still, so I'm going to get surgery. And it wasn't the Titans' decision. Teron Davenport tweeted right after Adam Schefter's breaking news that he said, it should be noted, this is Will Levis' decision, and the Titans are supporting it. And Levis won't be with the team when they report tomorrow, and his surgery is scheduled for 8 days from today. But going back to, was his shoulder bothering him? You could see his statistics last year were not that great. In 12 games, 13 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 63.1 completion percentage. And dating back all the way to Kentucky, he's had injuries, and he always plays through them. So you have to think, last year, was this another one where he was trying to play through an injury? And it took a toll on him, and it kind of hurt his chances and hurt his stock as he's not the starting quarterback of the Titans anymore. This is his decision. He said, well, I could compete for the starting job, probably going to lose, but I could get surgery, rehab, work out, get even better, come back into the 2026 season, and I don't know if he's going to be on the Titans, but we'll see. I don't blame him for getting this surgery whatsoever, because I just said he's not going to be a starter. And I know damn well Will Levis is probably going to want to be a starting quarterback in this league. I know he thinks he has enough talent. He's been the starting quarterback in college. He's been the starting quarterback in the NFL. He won some games. I'll never forget that Dolphins game where he led an incredible comeback. Like, he knows he still has it. So if I'm Will Levis, I'm going to go out and just rehab, get better. And I mean, me personally, I'd probably request a trade because I don't want to sit behind. Like, I'm fine. He was professional. He was getting ready for this upcoming season. He was like, this sucks, but I'm going to take it like a man and be the best quarterback that I can be. Like, can you blame him? So I would try to go out and maybe request a trade going into next year. What is your one-word reaction to Will Levis having season-ending surgery? For me, it was shocked. I did not expect to wake up and walk. I was in the middle of walking to work when this happened, and I went, all right, immediately going to have to bring you guys a video, and that's why you subscribe to the channel. But go down right now and give me your one-word reaction. Like, now we know the Cam Ward era is officially here. Like, it's here, guys. He's a starting quarterback, and we got to get ready for it. And I'm excited. I'm excited to see it. We'll see him training camp tomorrow. We'll bring you guys a video for that. But now that Will Levis is gone, where does this QB room sit? Because you have two, I'm not going to put it lightly, two scrubs. Two scrubs. So where does the quarterback room sit now? Are you going to go into this season with these two backups? Because I don't know if we want to do that. Because you need a competent backup quarterback. And Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle, nah. Like, you can look at the QB room right now. Like, I think Tim Boyle is one of the worst quarterbacks to ever play in an NFL game. And it's just insane to me that the Titans, like, I kind of expected the Tennessee to either trade or kind of maybe even release Levis, because let him go out and find another team. And now you're going with these two guys, which we'll get into in a second. But my real question is, like, are the Titans going to try to trade him? You have capital. I talked about in the offseason. Maybe send him to, like, Arizona, where they need a solid backup. Or you could send him to another team where he can compete for a starting job, because he only has 2 more years on his contract. And you can see right there, one of them's this year. So after 2025, 1 year left. I mean, the Titans wouldn't hurt by cutting him with only $3 million. When you have $30 million in cap space, you're going to get more next year. So they could just release him. They could just waive him, let him go out in his separate ways, or they could try to get some trade capital for him. But I really don't know what their decision could be. But all I know is that Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle as backups are a big problem. Because God forbid, Cam Ward gets hurt. Like, God forbid they get hurt, or Cam Ward gets hurt. And if he gets hurt, you're going to have to rely on these two guys. And we've seen, like, I'll just say this. In college football, Tim Boyle was at Eastern Kentucky. He did not throw for, like, he barely threw for 50% completion percentage. Like, it is a big problem. So for me personally, I would try to go out and find another backup quarterback. And when you have training camp starting tomorrow, like, your options are very, very, very slim. You could go out and trade for somebody, but do you really want to go out and trade for somebody with training camp tomorrow? I would go out and sign somebody. And if you could sign somebody, that's what you'll do. And there's one guy that I'm going to talk about in particular that has ties to Mike Borgonzi. But before I do that, I have a deal for you guys, as we always do. And your Titans hoodies are 60% off, and you can get this one right here for $30 at chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. If you want to rep the Titans, once we get into football season, once we get to August, once we get to October where it's actually cold and it's hoodie season, you can stock up and get yours on sale today. Before, you're probably going to have to pay $70 once it gets cold outside. So make sure chatsports.com/Titans hoodie. We'll have that in the comments and description of today's video. So, Producer Moose, if you don't mind just putting up their the 2024 stats between these two guys, because it is kind of, oh man, it's rough. Like, their QB ratings, 60.3 and 68.4, man. I like a competent backup. Like, I look at a guy like Josh Dobbs, who's a great backup, and you had Mike Borgonzi coming over from Tennessee, or coming over from Tennessee. He's now at Tennessee, coming over from Kansas City. Well, there was a certain backup quarterback to Mr. Patrick Mahomes when Mike Borgonzi was in Kansas City, and he is now a free agent. So I would really try and go and get another quarterback. And with training camp starting tomorrow, you're probably just going to have to go out and sign somebody. And if we look at one quarterback in particular, there's one guy that I'm looking at to be the backup. He's got ties to Borgonzi. Carson Wentz. He was backing up Patrick Mahomes last year, and he's been a starter in this league. We know what Carson Wentz is, and 63.2 completion percentage. Didn't play much last year, but we know what he is. And straight up, he is better than Brandon Allen and Tim Boyle. So if I'm going to sign a quarterback to be a new backup, I'm calling up Carson Wentz tonight or today. I'm like, hey, come to training camp. Let's do this. Like, it is going to be an interesting next couple of days because we're going to see Cam Ward, but you always got to worry about your backup quarterback just in case someone gets hurt. Would you sign Carson Wentz as a backup to Cam Ward? Go down in the comments right now, type S for sign or type P for pass. I'm signing him. Easy. Don't have to pay him a lot of money. He's got ties to Borgonzi. So I think we should see this rumor pop up a lot in the next couple of days. That's going to do it for the latest episode of Titans Today by Chat Sports. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We got training camp coming at you tomorrow, so we'll have a video covering all of that. And as always, tighten up.